Hey everybody, it's the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is dedicated to One Piece, Chapter 812, Capone Gang Bege. And our cover for this week is Genzo from Kokoyashi Village on the phone snail with apparently the government about using such a provocative picture for Nami's wanted poster. Again. And once again he's got it framed. And once again he's got it framed. Which I find is hilarious.
It's huge too, by the way.
Yeah, he blows it up and puts it on the wall. He did that the last time too.
Yeah.
Our Zoe flashback continues with Baze and Peckhams. I think you said they were both like mafia looking right here, right?
I mean, like look, the sunglasses. Capone's off. His name is Capone, and he has this cigar. I mean, he's got
the mafia boss look.
Yeah, and the fact that it's the way they're standing, it's just awesome looking actually.
Yeah. And Peckham is in a raid at the moment because he's wondering if the Straw Hat Pirates are the ones who did this to his homeland. Though obviously he's going to find out otherwise pretty soon, but right now we're back at the fortress. Wanda and Nami are exchanging clothes as a sign of friendship, and apparently the outfit he sees giving Nami is a national treasure, which she's happy about. You can tell because she has berry signs in her eyes.
Yeah, this is actually a theory that a lot of fans have, where they switched because of like a tradition, or maybe you had that too. But so this is basically confirming that theory.
Yep. And then Sanji is chewing it up.
Sanji, furry confirmed.
Well, female confirmed. That's always been the thing. Female first.
Yeah,
everything else second.
I feel like the furry should still be kind of like what? Type of, should
still
give you a light bulb, you know.
Well, like I said, like the moment the male mink started wanting to warm up, I was like, no, go away. Viva la mink ship. Of course, the moment he tries it with Nami after he's seen her in the dress, he gets slammed out of the roof. He goes blasting off again.
And Momosuke is still being locked up in the room, slow, not just sleeping, I guess, not doing anything.
Like he's having a hard time here for some reason, probably because of how they feel about the samurai.
Yeah, but you know, you think he would? I don't know. Do you think that's the reason? I feel like there's something else that's going on here.
There could be.
Maybe he's not feeling well because of the devil fruit, because we don't know the side effect.
It's possible. For now, though, Brooke knows that it's probably better they don't see him as a human form anyway, and they're basically just getting medicines and things ready to keep everybody else up and running. Caesar, for some reason, is calling himself Cedar. Just, I guess, trying to keep his identity quiet.
Yeah, but it's interesting that the way they talk to each other, it's like you forget that this guy was the enemy for a long time, and one of the worst too. The
Straw Hats haven't. Chopper's still on his case all the time.
I know, but it's just weird sometimes because he's like I mean, he's not a Straw Hat. I mean, they're still you know, like saying, you know, if you don't do this, we're gonna you know, crush your heart. But it's just weird seeing him become a comic relief character like this. So you know, and like he's just like, damn it, don't call me that or whatever. I'm a pharmacist. It's Kadar, you know.
Yep. Then we go back. We return to Peckham's, and he's just learned the truth.
I've got to mention this.
Oh, go ahead.
The nurse, or not the person who's picking up the medicines,
the leopard girl there looks like.
She's like, your fan. She's like, oh, the legion of fans are waiting outside. It's like,
it's hard to feel flattered when your fan base are a bunch of dogs.
I know. It's just funny how much they are really milking this Brooke thing with Bones. I mean, it's not really common that you have this type of thing. So, and then Peckhams is crying because it turns he found out that all of his family and friends are still alive and doing well.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like cursing out Jack while the Straw Hats are giving their proper credit.
Yeah.
Speaking of, they do notice that Peckhams and Capone are down there. Mink Wanda points out that Peckhams is a mink. She confirms that for us. Sanji is sitting there with his lumps.
Yeah.
They realize that they must have realized they were coming here, and Caesar wants to be protected. Of course, Sanji points out that Caesar was their trump card for Doflamingo, and he's already dealt with, so really they have no use for him anymore. Like, how can you talk to your friend that way? Friend, don't push your luck.
Wait, who said the friend thing?
Caesar.
Oh, he actually thinks that.
Well, he's at least saying he is.
Well, it's kind of funny how, I mean, again, this is a big villain, the Punk Hazard arc. It's just funny to see him being like demoted to the status. It's so awesome to see that.
He's like Buggy level now. Only Buggy's.
I know.
Only we were like Buggy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem I had was the kid thing. That was a little too much.
Yeah, and it was, and this could almost be karma for that even. Anyway, like Sanji's like, what did you even do to her? Well, she kind of missing some specific research from me. It didn't quite end up bearing any fruit. So I kind of told a small little lie and took the
pay.
payment from her anyway. Oh.
They're not bearing up any fruit.
Ha
There we go.
So I mean that's yeah. So we went to the.
It probably wasn't, but I'm just saying that's what he usually does. So.
Yeah, true. Anyway, since I had Doflamingo as a buffer, I figured I'd pretty much be untouchable. Well, you reap what you sow.
Actually, why would Doflamingo be untouchable? I mean, like she's Big Mom. She's one of the emperors. I mean,
yeah,
why
but
would she be scared of Doflamingo?
Well, Doflamingo has Kaido.
Yeah, but she's not afraid of Kaido either. I mean, all the 4 emperors are rivals.
Yeah, but I get the impression that they're not necessarily ready to just get into war with each other at the drop of a hat. So which actually reminds me of something to bring up later. But
so maybe she's just like, I'll get you later, but not now. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, yeah. Sanji's like, well, it'd be great if all I had to do was hand over Caesar. What? But Luffy already stirred the pot with her, so it's not. So they may not be able to get away with that.
Yeah, well, Luffy's basically declared war on everyone, so
yeah,
you're gonna have to deal with all shit.
And Topper notes that they also wrecked her ship.
Yeah, that too.
Like Sanji tries to get like Caesar tries to convince Sanji to team up against them, but Sanji decides to go ahead and meet with them.
Yeah, and then but we see someone notice him, and that is Capone. He notices Sanji.
Well, I think what is like Sanji like nods to him, we're going over that way.
Oh yeah, but also I think Capone also realizes who he's looking for.
Yeah. Well, I think they had that in the first place, but anyway, like.
Oh, I'm just hinting what's coming next.
Yeah, Sanji brings Brook with him, and they decide like to talk about like what their business is, and my God, Brook is tall.
Yeah,
it's easy to forget he's actually tall, but damn.
I actually thought Peckham's and Capone were kind of short, but now that I see them next to Sanji, I was like, holy shit, this guy's huge. I actually thought he was short, maybe because in comparison to like all the background whenever he appeared, and of course the body figure, like the body type of figure, it makes it look like they're short, but in reality they're actually huge.
I think it's also we're also used to such big characters now with One Piece that we forget that the Straw Hats are normal-sized humans.
Yeah, except for Brook and for Chopper.
And Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie.
Robin's kind of tall too, but not like enormously tall.
He's sexy tall. That's what I say.
There you go. Like I said, Sanji's concern is that they're making people nervous, and he doesn't want to make things harder for them than he has to, which is fine by Peckham's. In fact, he Garchus up to Sanji and gets down on Sanji and needs to thank them for their help. Like Peckham's points out. Oh, go ahead.
I like this 3-dimensional character from Peckham's. I mean, this is a guy who cares about his family. He didn't abandon them or whatever. I mean, and he's willing to even turn a blind eye to the mission that he was given to him by Big Mom, which was to capture the Straw Hat Pirates. Yeah,
like the way he phrased it, like on top of direct orders we already had from Mama to capture Caesar, we have another new mission on our agenda which could quite possibly break apart your crew. But I'll gladly turn a blind eye to that. I'll report that part of our mission as a failure. Just hand over Caesar, and I'll say we failed to capture the Straw Hats. And he'll try and smooth things over with her, which gets Baze angry. He's like, don't put your own personal interests ahead of our mission. Keep your mouth shut. I'll take whatever punishment comes myself. They saved the lives of my family and friends. I'm not letting anything happen to them. At which point Capone shoots him in the back.
Yeah, which is you point out is the opposite of Beppo.
Yeah, one of the comments I saw about this chapter was like earlier in this flashback we saw the Heart Pirates like just back up Beppo and defend his homeland for no other reason than because Beppo was going to. Like Beppo was even like given the choice not to fight, but everybody lined up behind him.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, so similar situation, but Baze just shoots him.
Yeah. So I mean, he is part of the worst generation. So.
And he pretty much calls his men out to fight. Like his men come out of his gut and surround Sanji and Brook.
So he's a literal fortress.
Oh yeah, I mean that's his devil fruit, the Shiro fruit. He's a castle man.
So he's like surrender, and he reintroduces himself as the Fire Tank Pirates captain with a bounty of 300 million, still lower than Luffy, by the way. Yeah. And so he goes on to say that he is a Shiro man, a fortress guy basically, and that I would have liked to kill. He actually said he wanted to actually destroy Peckham's completely, but he didn't want to make a scene. You already made a scene, man!
Well, not a scene in front of the Minks, though. Like, he doesn't... Because for him, it's more pragmatic, though. Like, Minks are powerful fighters, and they would certainly take the Straw Hat side in this situation.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot that the Minks are not there. I thought the Minks was around there.
No, they went off to private here.
Yeah. So,
and they've got Nami and Chopper, too.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, they captured both of them, and so basically Sanji's in a really bad predicament. Oh, by the way, and they also captured Caesar by shooting something at him, right?
Well, they threatened to shoot him with sea stone bullets,
yeah.
So he comes down, because he's a coward, and he points out that was a bluff, but they do have a sea stone spear.
Yeah. Wow. For a guy who's like a super smart scientist, he really needs some more street smarts than that.
Yeah. Now, so basically, Baze invites him into his castle. In other words, himself. And in fact, he's even able to materialize himself in the castle, which is kind of a weird, neat little thing to have.
I remember Boo did that, one time.
Oh yeah, I wonder if that's like why he forms it the way he does. Maybe. Like I don't know. It took me a little while to realize that was going on. I don't even know if I actually figured it out myself or if I just caught it from some other comment. But it was like, Baze tries to play the polite host, but Sanji's having none of it.
Yeah. But then, so basically, he tells them what he wants, and he says, "Well, things are a little different from when we met a week ago. Here's an invitation card I'm holding to you for a tea party that Mama's throwing." How many tea parties does she throw again? She throws a lot, I think, right?
Pretty regular, it sounds like.
Yeah, and the main event is going to be a wedding ceremony this time. You will be the bridegroom. You, the third son of the Vinsmoke family, Sanji, and the bride will be the 35th daughter of the Charlotte family, Puring.
And it's so shocking to Sanji that he drops his cigarette.
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
I don't remember. I don't pay attention. So, I mean, okay, so this is actually big. Now, okay, so the two main theories of Sanji's origins were that, not origins, I'll just say this. The two main theories about what was going on with Sanji was that he was either going to he was forced to get married to someone, or that he was some type of noble or mafia. And interestingly enough, I don't think anyone actually guessed that it was both.
Yeah, like I said, I think the mafia version of that, like the idea that he might be lined up from some crime family, is fairly recent. But it does work with a few other elements here, like his general look, the fact that Baze is there.
And of course, then there's the Italian stereotype of he's a cook, he likes cooking, and not to mention that why this family is making is brokering a wedding ceremony between or an arranged wedding between
himself and a pirate.
And a pirate, yeah. Like
I just thought of something. Duval. He was a gang boss, and people went after him thinking he was Sanji.
So
they thought Duval, like I said, the whole joke was that they thought Duval was that Sanji, but that's an extra reason why.
But keep in mind that they know this is Sanji, like they know his name.
Well,
so.
Yeah, but they didn't. They know for a fact this time because they've got an actual photo. Before they were just going off. That's what I'm saying. Because remember, like you said it before you started recording, like the last time anyone would have seen Sanji, he was 9.
Okay, so wait, are you saying they're confusing him from Duval?
Well, no. Think back to Water 7. Like you got the Duval wanted poster. Duval got crap because of that. I always assumed it was like people trying to arrest him and stuff like that. I mean, I think that's the general consensus, and that was part of it too.
Yeah.
But what if it was what if it was people trying to get Sanji back for this or something similar? Because remember, like the thing that clicked to me, like I'd seen that message before, and okay, that's kind of neat. But what clicked for me before was that before Duval ever went to sea, he was just like a small-time crime boss, like Bartolomeo.
Yeah.
So, what if they just figured like Sanji was just doing what the family business? That's why they thought it was him. That's another reason they thought it was him.
So you're saying that they thought that Sanji, they actually, like there were people who thought that Duval was, he was pretending to be Duval or something?
Like Duval was just Sanji, and it was just like an assumed name or something. I mean, it's just mistaken identity, just with more justification than just a picture.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I mean, I'll have to see if that's played out. But I think at this point, I think we should just look at the whole Duval thing.
Yeah, I know. That's just a random dot.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally think that's just coincidence. That Duval was a game boss.
But I think the crime boss is a little more likely for a few reasons. Like you mentioned, I think you mentioned before as well. Like the Vinsmoke name sounds more like a mafia name.
It does.
And also, it might justify the alive only thing, which I thought was a weakness of this theory, because maybe the government would want him as some kind of bargaining chip with the crime family. Yeah. I'm interrupting you. Go ahead.
It's just so Sanji. Okay, so before we go, let's point out his name. He's the third son. San means 3.
Right.
So I'm assuming the brother means the other brothers are Niji and Shiji. Or
not necessarily. Like you might have the G part can also refer to a second son or second child.
Oh, okay.
So that could go a couple different ways.
Yeah. Okay. So, so interestingly enough, so Sanji has been separated from his family since he was 9, at least. Like it could be earlier, and he was with the cook. So maybe he ran away because he didn't like life there or whatever. Another thing I like to point out is that Charlotte seems to have 35 daughters at least. Now a lot of people are arguing whether it's biological or maybe
or maybe it's a Whitebeard thing.
white people thing. At the same time, this person has roughly the same name as like a similar name to Charlotte. Like Charlotte's name is Rin, right? And
yeah, Lin. And in this case, they actually refer to her as the 35th daughter of the Charlotte family.
Yeah, family. So I think she's actually part of it. And no one would ask you something.
Given that, I'm going to bring back something I asked you before we started here. How old do you think Charlotte Pudding will be? Because you were saying before you were choosing like someone like really beautiful or versus or really ugly, and Sanji usually gets the really ugly ones, but it could be really ugly. My thing is, they won't be the ugliest or the prettiest. This girl will be the youngest, because that's just the kind of joke they haven't used with Sanji yet.
Okay, I mean, I just feel like the reason why the pretty.
Oh, we broke up. You'll need to repeat that. You broke up.
He's surrounded by mermaids since he's got beauties. If you think about it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You broke up right there, so go ahead.
I was just saying that since that he's come back from the time skip, he's actually been surrounded by a lot of beauties. The mermaids, the minks. So
true.
And Viola too. So I think this.
Hell, he actually charmed Viola.
Yeah, he actually did. So I'm thinking that this is going to be actually a pretty girl this time, but he's going to be in a situation where he says, I'm going to have to say no. Like, he's going to marry the pretty girl. This is his dream. But the problem, he's probably going to be like, well, I can't do this because I have to be with Straw Hats, or something like, oh, I think you're really pretty, but he makes the final decision and says, I got to go with Nami and Robin.
Yeah.
You know?
Or Nami and Robin.
Yeah, no. But, like, it'd be an interesting character development if for the first time he actually says no to a pretty girl. If you think about it. Like, it'd be interesting, so. Yeah. And also, one might wonder if they're all biologically related to Big Mom. Who?
Well, it could simply be that Big Mom's just really old.
Yeah, because I'm just like.
Or prone to twins or triplets.
Or I'm saying is who would be attracted to her. It's just like who's the father basically. But I could also throw out like maybe in Bleach, you had Hikifune who was really fat and obese, but when she used up her powers, she became really hot. It could be like Big Mom. Big Mom maybe because she's always eating, right? She loves sweets. What if she's uses a power or when she stops eating, she becomes really thin and becomes like a hot beauty. I mean, Alvida was in a similar situation where because she ate the fruit, she became hella hot. Yeah. So, that could be something.
It could be.
And also And also point out that the whole $35 thing. I mean, Lola could be one of them. Lola from the Real Bark Saga.
That reminds me, like my own little theory on here. If assuming Lola is a daughter of Lin, which actually alliteration-wise could work. But anyway, what if Lola's big thing is that she was obsessed with getting married? What if she's trying to get married on her terms versus having Mama choose one for her?
Yeah, it's also interesting that it's interesting that she has 35 daughters, and her name is Big Mom.
Well, you can't say it doesn't apply. Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I'm actually wondering about that. Yeah, I'm actually also wondering what Purin's opinions to this is. I remember when Purin was first shown not Purin, what was his name, Linlin or Rinrin? Which one?
Charlotte Linlin is Big Mom herself.
Okay, Linlin. Yeah, okay, there we go. Because I the Japanese don't do the L sound, so I was wondering how they would.
I think they did it as Linlin in English as well.
Okay, Linlin.
Here,
okay,
you talk to somebody, I'll see if I can find that for us.
Okay, so Linlin, the first time she was shown, there was another girl with her in that room.
The three-eyed girl, I remember.
Yeah, could be her.
See here, where was Big Mom first appearance? I think it was right after Punk Hazard.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay, try to get quiet here for a moment. But yeah, like I said, I was wondering about if that might be a possibility, if the three-eyed girl is the one that might make the difference here. If she actually is pudding herself. And for reference, in here they're saying Purin, P-U-R-I-N. I don't know if that's what it's going to be in official English, but that's basically how the Japanese say the word pudding.
Okay.
It's also the Japanese name for Jigglypuff.
Oh, maybe that's the one. That's who he's going to marry, Jigglypuff.
And now I'm imagining like big blue eyes on her. Which I kind of hope for. I think that's cute. I'm a sucker for eyes.
Well, not to marry though.
Why that be like the only good feature on her? See here.
So Sanji. So that I'm assuming that's where Sanji went. Making a really big deal about this too.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, actually, another good reason that Lola could be the daughter. And I can't take credit for this. What it is when I saw in comments and such. Do you remember Lola gave them? Straw Hats
card.
For her mother, who is a big name in the New World.
I know. I was just about to mention that. Yes. Her mother is a pirate, a powerful pirate in the New World. Although she implied that if they needed help, then she would help them. So I don't think that's gonna be the case in this situation.
Well, it could.
He declared war.
Yeah, it could be a case where like they go to her for help, and then realize that they're actually heading for the same person that they're antagonizing.
Or maybe Charlotte just is like maybe she doesn't attack them anymore because like maybe like, oh, you helped my daughter out, then I'll give you this one time, I'll let you go or something. I don't know.
Wonder how Basil will respond to that.
Yeah. But yes, I do remember that she gave the video card for her mom. I was literally just about to mention that. It's kind of funny that you said it like 1 second before me. But yes, she was, and so that was the first hint that maybe it's Big Mom, because she said powerful pirate in the new world, and to live in the new world and be a powerful pirate, you got, it's got to be one of those people,
Emperor is pretty high up on the list.
Yeah. It's yeah. So yeah. Anything else that we need to say?
Nope, I think we're good here. I couldn't find the chapter with Big Mom's first appearance on here, so never mind that right now.
Oh wait, you can go to Big Mom Wiki.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wiki, and then yeah.
I know you didn't mean it that way, but it sounded like you're about to say that there's a Big Mom Wiki out there.
Yeah, and then I'm assuming that you can say first appearance and then debuts.
Yeah, they usually have that. Here, let me see if I can find that real quick. I think they actually referred to her by name before that as well, somewhere in Fishman Island.
They referred to her both in
651. Let's see here. See, volume 71. What does that start? Okay, yeah, it's a bit earlier than that. So let's see about this. Volume 66.
Oh no, it is in this. It is in 651. It is in 651. Yes, because right. Three-eyed girl was sits uncomfortably in chair as Big Mom shoots. Yeah. So yeah, it's in this chapter.
Okay, yeah, it's in the period between Fishman Island and Straw and Punkcatcher, it looks like.
Yeah, chapter 651. It's the one. It's definitely.
Right, because that's when she was first introduced her. Yeah, you're right. Okay, hang on.
I'm reading the plot summary. The three-eyed girl was mentioned.
Yep, and the English version says Charlotte Linlin with an L.
Yeah, Linlin.
Great pirate, Big Mom, Charlotte Linlin, one of the 4 emperors.
Yeah. I wonder what her. Oh, yes. You saying?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I wonder what makes her really powerful, because we know that Kaido's basically invincible. Redhead Shanks is, he hasn't shown his full power, but it seems like he's one of the best swordsmen ever. And he's also a former member of the Gold Roger crew. Roger. And the Roger Pirates, there you go.
Yeah.
And then we have Blackbeard. So we have reasons for everyone except for Big Mom, who is kind of like, we don't really know much about. Maybe she eats everything. Well, we have a character who eats everything.
Wapol, yeah.
On Island, yeah.
I think I've seen some theories about her possibly having acid power, which would possibly relate to stomach acid.
Possibly, but I mean, it's got to be strong enough to make her an emperor level.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, devil fruits are like a major step, especially if they're used well. But remember, like now we have other sorts of power with things like hockey and such, and just raw badassery.
One thing is there's got to be more than that. That's what I'm saying. Like, the acid itself just doesn't seem like an emperor type of level ability. Maybe she has. I don't know. Like, there's got to be something that unique about her that makes her so powerful.
I do like the fact that this will probably be bringing Jinbei back in a bit quicker.
Probably, and Big Mom coming in. I mean, like, look, I love the fact that Jinbei's coming, but I mean, I don't want to wait 3 more years to see it.
Yeah. That reminds me, like, how they've been declaring this is like the year of Sanji.
Yes.
One thing I thought about before is, every time when I first heard that, my first thought went to an episode of the Game Grumps when they do Super Mario World, and one guy's reaction hearing that 2013 is the year of Luigi is like, oh my god, what happened? Like, what happened to him? Like, that's why he's getting the extra special year to himself there.
A lot of people are upset that he didn't win against Doflamingo, but then again, it took Luffy, Law, and everyone attacking Doflamingo, and even then, Luffy still had to, get everyone to help him out.
Twice. And he used his ultimate power twice. Yeah, I mean, that man had obscene durability.
Well, yeah, so it wasn't that they helped him twice. It was that they helped him so he can use his powers twice. And so, yeah, I mean, like, of course Sanji couldn't beat him. I mean, he was the final villain of that arc. So Sanji's strong and all, but that's obviously it was a Luffy enemy,
Yeah,
so
and then by the time we got there, it was definitely like a Luffy fight.
Yeah, so it's not Sanji's weakness. I mean, we always knew. Like, do you expect Sanji to win that fight? Not really, right?
Not really. I don't know. I'm not sure if Sanji expected to win the fight, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people were upset that Sanji didn't win against Doflamingo, or at least didn't do better. It's like, well, if you think about it, he actually did pretty well. He was able to fend him off.
Yeah, fend him off. Everyone else get the safety and all that. You're right about that.
Yeah, so I don't understand. I don't really get why people are so pissed off about the Sanji thing.
It's something we brought up before, like the difference between making the villain look strong and the hero look weak.
I think that was perfect. I think it still makes the villain look strong, but Sanji's able to fend him off and still do everything he can, even if he can win.
I think part of it
that
is...
was perfect. I was just saying that was the perfect way to demonstrate that.
I think a lot of it is also like Sanji hasn't really had a fight since the time skip came around. Like he had Watatsumi, but even then he had to share that with Jinbei.
Well, now we get it.
I can't remember offhand if he lost or drew to Virgo in Punk Hazard. I know at the very least it was like it didn't finish the fight. And then we have Dressrosa, where the only real fight he got was against some thugs in Doflamingo for a bit. Meanwhile, Zoro has had like a pretty decent fight for Punk Hazard with Monet and Pika in Dressrosa. Yeah, I mean that's Zoro's first big true fight here. Yeah,
Zoro is stronger than Sanji.
Well, I would say by now he is, but at the same time, I usually tend to think of them maybe roughly not that far apart. Generally,
they always had a rivalry going on, but Zoro always had the edge.
At least in terms of power, you're right about that. Like I said, Sanji's usually the one who kind of takes command, I think. Well, I guess Zoro kind of does in his own way.
And also in terms of the enemies, like everyone Zoro faced was always a little higher than the people who Sanji faced. So.
Yeah, but it's never by that much, though.
Yeah. And not to mention that Sanji's goal
is not
become the best.
Yeah, his goal is not combat oriented.
Yeah, so it makes sense. It makes sense that Zoro will be stronger, and he's the first mate too. So I mean, it's not always a definite. Captains aren't always stronger, but in the world of One Piece, it's kind of like a shonen ranking system.
Yeah, pretty much. Zoro's always getting those comments like how he's so powerful, but he's not the captain.
Yeah. Who's the killer? Killer.
Yeah, Killer kind of. I don't know about Killer if he's gotten similar remarks, but Enies Lobby, I think Dressrosa, he got comments like that. Zoro did.
The reason why I mentioned Killer is because he was strong enough to be a Supernova 11 on his own.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So, and of course it made sense because the two captains who had those guys were the two highest ranked the two captains with the highest bounties.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else other than any speculation? Anything?
Nothing I can think of offhand. I think we covered the main points I wanted to bring up, like the whole possibility of pudding being like off limits because of age rather than anything else. But that's the one I'm going to go with because I think that would be the funniest. That's just because I can just imagine running out of Sanji having to explain this.
And maybe she actually falls in love with him, but he's like,
yeah, she's legitimately crushing on him, and Big Mom indulges because she's got Sanji is useful to her, so she's indulgent. I mean, like I said, that has so much potential for hilarity. So
yeah,
okay. That's the year I want to come to. I don't know if it actually is likely though. It's not guaranteed like the Use Hero Death Watch.
Not guaranteed either.
Close enough. It's close enough to be.
Not in Bleach.
True enough, I guess. All right. Well, since we've officially changed manga mid-review here, I think we can call this a night. That's been our review of One Piece, Chapter 812, Capone Gang Bege. Go ahead and take us away.
Bye.